On May 25th, 1983, thousands of Star Wars fans lined up in San Diego, California to see the final chapter in the Star Wars saga, to only discover 20 minutes of the movie was missing. This is their story. Okay guys, today we're going to take you back to 1983 with the premiere of Return of the Jedi. It was an exciting time. I can remember couldn't wait till school got out because my brother and his friend was taking me to see it. Well, they weren't just taking me, they were going to see it and I was tagging along with them and I couldn't wait. And a lot of people in San Diego, California couldn't wait either. But this one theater really screwed up. Now, if you watched our live stream last Saturday night, me and my buddy Russ, we watched a news clip about this missing reel. Can you imagine that? Turn of the Jedi's out, you take a day off work or cut school, and there you are at noon, ready to see at least what we thought was the final Star Wars movie ever. He was all excited, and you get in the theater to find out a whole 20 minutes of the movie is just gone. Before we get into what the newspapers reported about this incident, let's look at that news clip.
For the hundreds of people who turned up for the long-awaited premiere, it was a case of getting a lot less than they had paid for.
We went in, saw about 45 minutes, maybe an hour's worth of the film, and then it switched to a whole other different reel with it had to be about 45 minutes missing from the movie, and everybody started griping and throwing stuff, and so we all got up and walked out.
The problem, it seems, was that reel 4 out of the 8-reel movie was missing. Theater management blamed it on 20th Century Fox, which had promised to have the reel down in time.
We knew that when it started, and on their assurance that we'd have it in time, we went ahead with our show, knowing full well that in the event that that film didn't get here, we were going to have to give back the money or to give them a chance to come in to see the picture at another date of their choice.
Well, choice or not, the crowd was not pleased.
It's stupid that we had to go in there and then they didn't do nothing about telling us that they skip the whole film part. I mean, that is really rotten.
It's amateurish and unprofessional.
In the meantime, theater managers were concerned about the next performance of the film. Would 20th Century Fox fail the theater yet a second time?
Now we're coming up to the next performance, and I still haven't seen the film. So that's all we can do is wait.
Then, through the parking lot, under police escort, moments before the second scheduled screening, the arrival of the Jedi. The crowd was now pleased.
I'm happy now!
All in all, a rather inauspicious debut for a movie theater which opened its doors just today. Lorraine Kimmel, News 8.
As you can see, fans wasn't happy. I mean, you can't blame them. I'll be honest with you, we're going to get into the story of why the theater manager even started the dang thing, but it makes no sense to me. You think just to be on the safe side, he wouldn't even started the film. Maybe he just didn't want a nerd riot on his hands. I can understand that, I guess. Man, when we don't get our Star Wars fix, we get pretty angry. But this turned out to be pretty big news. Newspapers all over the country started reporting on this missing Star Wars reel. But it did show up, but a little late. Let's look at some news articles from that time period. It all started in San Diego, California at the Pacific 6 Theater. The theater was sent the reels of Star Wars Return of the Jedi. However, out of those reels, 2 of them was the same, causing the theater to never get reel number 4. They did catch this before the premiere showing at noon on Wednesday, May 25th, 1983. Over 1,000 people were at the theater. Some of them have been waiting overnight. The theater manager worked hard to find this missing reel. Unable to find anyone locally, he contacted 20th Century Fox for the missing reel and was guaranteed it would be sent to him overnight by aircraft. But what he didn't know is that aircraft would be delayed. There it was, Wednesday, May 25th, 1983. The other theaters in town that had Return of the Jedi had them packed in, ready to show. So what did the manager do? He decided to start the film. After all, the reel was on his way, and each reel was about 20 minutes long. Number 4 was the one missing, so that would give them about 80 minutes. The flight from Los Angeles to San Diego would only take about 60 minutes. That would give them an extra 20 minutes to get the film from the airport to the theater. As moviegoers sat there watching Return of the Jedi, it went from Luke Skywalker on a speeder bike to Luke and Leia talking. I imagine it looked something like this right here.
Get alongside that one! Yes. It's you there.
As you can imagine, fans were upset. Screaming could be heard coming from inside the theater. Some reports indicated that even boos could be heard. The plane landed, and the missing reel was picked up by local law enforcement and rushed to the theater. But that plane was 40 minutes late. When the police arrived with the missing reel, they were met with chaos. No violence was reported, but fans of Star Wars were very upset. Reports claimed some angry fans were even stomping their feet inside the theater. It was even reported that at least one guy was seen pounding his fist, and some demanded their money back. But anyone upset could get a coupon from the theater and return to see the movie for free. That sounds like a great deal, but it didn't please all the fans. Like 20-year-old Marvin Menas. They told the local news that he had waited in line since 8:30 that morning. And now he was told he would have to come back on a Saturday morning if he wanted to see it again. He went on to say that he even heard talks from others around the theater that some of them wanted to find a manager to wring his neck. That manager would go on to tell local press that he really thought he would have enough time. So he started the movie. And out of his 35 years of working as a movie theater manager, he had never seen anything like it, and he hoped he never did again. One of the moviegoers was 20-year-old Mike Wright, who said the whole ordeal was a big hassle, but overall, he thought the movie was kind of dull. So maybe he didn't even take his coupon to see the movie again. I have to admit, I would be pretty dang pissed also. I mean, I would have been let down if they told me, hey, it's going to start late, we don't have the reel here. And I can kind of, I would be upset about that. But to sit there and watch the movie, 20 minutes of it just missing, and it jumps from the speeder bike scene to Luke and Leia talking. I mean, you're missing all the Ewok. But still. It'd be very, very upsetting, wouldn't it? You probably wouldn't even know what happened. You're like, all of a sudden, these bears are helping the rebels. What? Who are they? Where they come from? Why are they trying to help? It would be all confusing. And then you wouldn't be able to listen because you'd be all so confused. No, it's really dumb. And I don't know how it really works to be the projectionist that films the feed, whatever you call it, the reels into it. And I can just imagine when he got to the end of 3, he saw he didn't have 4. Why even put reel 5 in? Why not just say, hey, stop it right there. Let the screen go blank or something. It just seems like a big total mess up. I don't know if this is something that's happened a lot. I don't even know about the Return of the Jedi one. I can remember I went to see Raiders of the Lost Ark, and I don't know why. It was like I guess it was a new reel, but the cave scene, it was upside down. It only did it for about 15 seconds, and they stopped it and then fixed it. But I guess somebody loaded the reel wrong. I guess we don't have to worry about that today. Everything looks like you're watching a damn DVD. I miss film. I miss movies on film. You get the little logo, the little circle at the top tells you when to change the reel. Remember that? You get the scratchiness of it. I know HD, all that's nice, but I like the scratchy film look.
And your friends on the indoor moon will not survive. There is no escape.
Hey, Junkman channel popping though.
Thank you, sir, for that unsolicited testimony.